Good morning. Do you ever see images on social media that give you pause? Maybe you take a second look because what you're seeing couldn't possibly be true. Artificial intelligence could be to blame, and it's getting better and better at faking us out, which has all kinds of ramifications in society and in our lives. That's why Gray Media, our parent company, launched a new series of stories we're calling Manipulated to inform all of us about what's happening with AI. We're airing them on TV, and you'll find them on our website, WFSB.com/manipulated. One of the leading reporters in this effort is Brendan Keefe. He's chief investigative reporter at Atlanta News First, and you may recognize him as a former anchor and reporter from right here at Channel 3. Brendan joins us from Atlanta, and Brendan, I watched some of these pieces. It's remarkable stuff, and of course, we've all been following this AI, but I thought a line you had in one of your pieces, "Seeing is no longer believing." I thought that was such a good summary. Is that what you're finding as you're looking into this?
Yeah, no question. What we're seeing, we can't believe anymore. It used to be, even as an investigative journalist, if we see it in moving video, it's probably real. I mean, to fake these things before, you needed a Hollywood studio. Now all you need is a text prompt written into a free artificial intelligence platform. It's amazing just how quickly this has accelerated to the point where you need absolutely no skill to fool the entire world.
So no skill to fool the world, but certainly a lot of skill to tell these things apart. So give our viewers an idea, just sort of the breadth of this series. What kinds of things are we looking into in this Manipulated series?
So we're looking at kind of two things in what we're trying to do. We're trying to show people the problem, and then we're trying to show them how to protect themselves. But it's getting harder and harder to protect yourself when even the experts can't tell the difference. A year ago, when I did an artificial intelligence story, we said, well, if you see a picture and someone has 6 fingers, that's probably AI. AI was terrible at counting fingers. And then there were other little sort of tells. Those are gone. AI has fixed that. The AI now can generate not only images, but moving video with talking people, superstars and sports stars and news anchors and reporters, and they can convincingly fool the public that these people are really saying this when it's actually a text prompt. And it's truly terrifying. And I'd love to tell you how to protect yourself, but the things that we would tell you a year ago just simply no longer apply.
Well, let's stick with that theme you just talked about. You talked about, celebrities and sports stars. I want to show a little piece of one of your stories, and you're down in Atlanta, of course, so you're looking at some Braves players. Let's take a look at one of your reports.
What are some of the AI-generated Braves images you've seen?
Braves players are actually in their game gear. Post-game, they went out and were helping flood victims and carry people out of the floodwaters.
Go Braves on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Braves first baseman Matt Olson really does help children and various charities.
Create some change and help some people.
But these photos of Olson and right fielder Ronald Acuna in the Texas floods are AI.
One of the sad parts about it is that they're playing on people's emotions, obviously.
If I can get you thinking emotionally, you're not thinking rationally.
Professor David Schweidel is the top AI expert at Emory University's Goizueta Business School.
We're living in a scary time because publicly available generative AI tools have gotten really, really good very quickly.
All it takes is a simple text prompt. Create a photorealistic image of Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes rescuing an otter.
Baseball players, actors, any type of public figure, the video and audio of you doing your job is all that's necessary to create these digital twins that are going to be used to rip people off.
So, Brennan, tell me, obviously startling to see those pictures of Braves players in full uniforms, purportedly wading into floodwaters. But then how is that stuff then being used to rip people off?
Yeah, if you think about it, the dawn of the internet, actually when the internet was just taking hold, I was morning anchor there at Channel 3 at WFSB, around the 1995 time frame, and the internet was so new, people were trying to figure out how to use it. AI is just like that. And who uses it first? Back then, 30 years ago, the first people to sort of capitalize on the internet were scammers, right? I mean, that's what the internet was. It was all about trying to scam people, and it's sort of using that new technology. And that's exactly what's happening with AI. People are seeing the power of this and saying, I can use this to trick people before they get smart enough to know the difference. And so what they're doing is they're posting those pictures on Facebook or other social media platforms, and then they wait for someone to comment. So they'll comment, oh, isn't it great that those players, the yard goats are out there helping people in our community. Well, they really are, but these are fake pictures, and they wait for that, well-meaning person to comment, often a widow, an older person, and then they'll come in the comments and pretend to be another player or another famous person, and then they'll strike up a conversation offline with that target, with that older person or that widow, and then they will essentially do the old-fashioned romance scam, the catfishing, where they will get that target to send them money. They'll come up with a reason of why they need you to give money or give money to a fake charity, but it's really going to a scammer who's usually overseas.
Wow, it's alarming stuff. So and I know in that same piece we just showed the clip of, you talk later in the piece that you yourself had a scam run with a picture of you. So it can really get anyone if your picture is out there. I know you said it's so hard to give people advice, but is there anything our viewers can do to try to protect themselves?
Well, there's really nothing you can do. If your pictures are out there, you can be essentially spoofed. They can do deep fakes of you. We all post to social media. All I need is a single photograph of you, and I can create a moving video. All I need is 5 to 10 seconds of your voice, and I can duplicate your voice. That's one of the things that they're using. They're faking grandchildren's voices and then calling the grandparents and saying, oh, I got in a car accident or I need bail money, and people are sending it. So the bottom line is sort of caveat emptor, buyer beware. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. That's always the best advice. But also, if anyone wants you to urgently send them money, I need this now, it's urgent, and I need you to send me money in some unusual form. Wire, Western Union, gift cards, iTunes gift cards or Best Buy gift cards. These are very common techniques the scammers use because they then use those and essentially sell them on the black market and on the dark web. Yeah, they faked my ID. This is my real ID, but they faked my ID with AI to trick someone they were scamming into believing I was telling them, don't worry, this is the real Air Force general, not the scammer. And it turns out they're faking even journalists now.
Oh, amazing. It really is amazing stuff, Brendan. Just one last question. We're almost out of time, but I wonder, you said your advice now is so different from a year ago, but I have to imagine that we're moving fast down this highway. This is a runaway train, right? A year from now, what'll be happening then? Is there any way to predict what's next?
When I was growing up in North Haven, going to North Haven High School, I never imagined that we would be in a situation where people could convincingly fake video of regular everyday people and trick them. This is happening so fast, but I will say this, it's also being used for good. It's essentially benign, artificial intelligence. It's the user who's either malevolent or benevolent. And there's lots of great uses for it out there. Just be careful of the people who are trying to trick you.
Well, certainly great advice. Brendan Keefe, we so appreciate you being with us. It's nice to see you back here on the WFSB airwaves. And of course, we'll be watching the Manipulated series as well. Thanks for being with us here on CT25. Coming up, or actually before we say what's coming up, we want to tell you if you want to learn more about artificial intelligence and how to not fall for the fakes, you can watch all those reports, WFSB.com/manipulated.